you need to take more advantage of simplicity when creating beats. A lot of the time we get stuck trying to impress other producers instead of focusing on what might work for an artist. This may mean adding like 50 layers that are groundbreaking and impressive to other producers, but artists just turn their heads away from it. Today I'm going to break down one of my own songs that I produced and written to show you how simplicity can create a really good vibe with little work.
In my mind, I just play them all the time, all the time. Intrusive thoughts, they hit my mind, but I just play them all the time, all the time. Intrusive thoughts, they hit my mind. See, I just took him out his prime, Intrusive thoughts.
Okay, so let's start the breakdown. Now, first things first, we're going to break down this piano, because this piano is the basis for the entire beat. And as you can see, it's an extremely simple piano. So it's just following the D sharp as the bass notes. And we've got a minor chord here. Now this minor chord has been copied along just like this. And the middle note has been put down one. This creates dissonance, which means lack of harmony, and could create a really, really dark tone, which is what we're going for. Along with this, we copied the bass notes down one and we copied the top notes up just to give it a little more presence, as it is such a simple piano. Without these notes, you can hear it doesn't sound as interesting. Let's add them. It just adds that little extra flair that can give it that darker tone and make it more interesting for an artist. Now, the reason I showed the piano first is because this violin that we've got here, the first three notes just follow the same pattern of our chords. And then we have an extra middle note here to connect it. And these two notes again take advantage of dissonance. So we have our little basic violin here, and that's looping over the entire beat. Along with this, we have another violin, which is copying some of the notes from that melody, just to give it that extra little flick. And then finally, we have another violin, which is just directly copying. Now, altogether, this creates a mini little orchestra. Now, to top off this orchestra, we have one final violin. Now, this violin is interesting because it is a tremolo violin, which means it goes wee, 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 wee. And this works to sustain the beat and bring it to life and give it that darker type of feel, which I think tremolo does very, very well. Now, you could even put this higher. And that sounds pretty hard in some cases. Like, I'm not finished with this song. Once the song's out, it will be in the top of the description. But yeah, so altogether, as you can notice, this is very, very, very simple. It does not take up a lot of the frequencies. This is perfect for an artist to get on. And as you can hear here, there is probably a lot that you could add to this beat to make it more interesting, but I feel the vocals kind of justify that and do that well. So for the drums, it's pretty basic. We've just got our hi-hat here. And this is a velocity hi-hat. So every other hi-hat, it goes down in velocity. And a basic rim. And I'll kick with a big, nice, sustaining bass. Just to fill up a lot of that low end that we don't really... I'm sure there's a lot of things that you could add onto this to make it more interesting, little ear candies and whatever, and I will add that. But the point is that you don't always need to be doing too much. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to, you know, create a masterpiece every time, because this is so simple, but all the elements that come together make it sound more complex. Because when you hear these vocals, they kind of carry the beat, you know? So if you're a producer looking to produce for an artist, you want to keep in mind what kind of vocals will be on the track. Now, I'd recommend grabbing an acapella offline with a similar style to the song you want. You can use it as a reference to know that you're not taking up too much of that valuable headroom. Bring back the vocals. You can see how they're fairly simple and they work and have a strong relationship with the actual beat.
Intrusive thoughts, they hit my mind, but I just played them.
So obviously it opens up with the chorus, so we have all of these sounds playing at once, filling it up, but as soon as the chorus ends, we can see how it...
If you step to me, you stepping out of line. Call me clown, but you look just like Pennywise. I I don't fuck with people that just want my time.
You can see how the vocals and the beat co-align together and work together in such a way, which I think I've done a really good job at. I'm not going to go in depth in this video about the vocals and the vocal mixing and the recording techniques, etc, etc, but if you do like how this sounds and you would want a video on that, let me know in the comments, because I'll definitely make a part 2 breaking down this song. This project does look complex, but it's mostly because of these vocals down here. This is not that crazy, because just remember, like, this is not involved, so that's not involved, and it's just this. So I'm sure you've made beats more complex than this, you know what I mean? But sometimes I think it is a good idea to just take a step back and try and make it simplistic, because a lot of producers say the beat that blew up or the beat that sold the most is the simplest one. So maybe try it for yourself and see what happens. I don't know. But I hope you got something from this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.